The Quran did not say Jesus was not crucified. The Quran said they, that is the Jews, did not crucify him. It was only made to appear so to them. That appearance doesn't mean that they did not do the job. Actually, it meant that while they were doing the job and thinking they were the ones succeeding, no, it was actually Allah who was taking the life of Jesus by himself, because he said that was what he was going to do, and he was going to relieve Jesus from the unbelievers and hand the baton over to his disciples, and that the disciples, the followers of Jesus, will become victorious, not for some time until Jesus returned, no, but until the day of resurrection, meaning that Jesus, when he has been taken from this life, he will not return until the day of resurrection, according to the Islamic teaching. And if you don't understand, let me take you to Quran chapter 8 verse 17. Muslims went to battle and they actually killed and they threw things at the other party. But Allah told them that when you were killing them, you were not the ones killing them. It is Allah doing the job himself. When you were throwing things at them, it was not you throwing things at them. It was Allah doing it himself. That is the meaning of Quran chapter 4 verse 157, because Allah already said in Quran chapter 3 verse 55 that he was going to be the one to do it. It doesn't mean that he will not still use the Jews or the Romans to do the job. Quran chapter 3 verse 144 makes it complicated to those who choose to distort words from their place and refuse to correctly interpret all the verses of the Quran about the death and resurrection of Jesus accurately. Quran chapter 3 verse 144 says, Muhammad is only a messenger. The messengers before him had passed away. You see, Say International refused to put the article D before the messengers. But if you click the Arabic, you will see that the article D is present. Why did Say International remove it? Because the presence of article D in that statement in Arabic means that there is no exclusion. Every messenger that ever lived before Muhammad had passed away. And in case you don't understand the meaning of pass away, the next statement says, so if he died or was killed, then will you turn back the context of the verse itself? And the historical context is about death. So the only conclusion you can make from Quran chapter 3 verse 144 is that Jesus either died a natural death or Allah forced him to die. He decided that your time on earth is enough and he took him to himself. But we know how that happened. The Jews handed him over to the Romans who did the job, but it was not that they overcame him. It was because Allah wanted to terminate his stay on earth. That is the original Islamic context. Something that is the most attested fact of history about the life of Jesus. And the disciples said after the third day, according to what Jesus himself prophesied, they saw that he was resurrected from the dead. Now, you are trying to create a contradiction in your Quran that did not even exist in the first place by saying Jesus was not crucified, he did not die. But the issue is, why did he have to die? The Quran does not explain, just like it did not tell you why Jesus is called the Messiah. Not just a Messiah, the Messiah. Quran chapter 3 verse 45. Now, Jesus is the only hope for humanity. He came, he lived a perfect life. The Quran calls him pure son. No other person bears that significance even before he was born. It will not be after he was born that he now become impure by any means, when he was declared by God himself as pure according to your Quran before he was born. He did not bear any burden of sin. He was qualified to bear the burden of sin for anyone. And Jesus told us in the Bible that he came for that exact purpose, so that he can give his life as a ransom for you and for me, if only you believe. Jesus said in John chapter 3 verse 15, he said, just as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, he said, so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that anyone, whether you are Jew, whether you are Arab, whether you are Indian, anyone who believes in him will not perish but have everlasting life. This is the gospel, that you don't have to go to hell for a sin you did not even know existed, because God is a perfect God. He does not see things like you see, and He will not make it an excuse for you that you don't know. You cannot enter paradise with any form of iniquity, any form of impurity, and you are not perfect. The best of you will still fall into sin. The best of Muhammad was commanded repeatedly in the Qur'an to ask forgiveness for his sins. But there are things that you will still not even know that he has done that was wrong. Jesus became the ultimate sacrifice for us. You do not need Jews and Christians to become your rescue on the day of resurrection. That hadith that says that no Muslim will die. You know the meaning of no Muslim? That includes Muhammad. Except that a Jew or a Christian becomes your replacement in hell. Some people say, no, that is not what it actually means. It means that, because every Muslim have their place in hell and in paradise. So if they go to paradise, then the Jews will take their place in hell. Is that what Muhammad told you? If he does not go to paradise, he will occupy his place in hell. So why would the Jew or the Christian occupy your own place in hell when he has his own place? It doesn't make sense. That passage actually said, they are going there in your stead. In other words, you should have gone to hell if not for the Jews or the Christian who took your place there. But no Jew or Christian will actually take your place. Jesus already took their place. The disciples of Jesus were Jews and Christians. They followed him. They believed that he died for them. And they were not going to hell. They will not replace you. You are the one who should believe this gospel so that you can be saved. Don't trust in your goodness. It will amount to nothing on the day of resurrection. Jesus paid the price for you. He died already. He rose again. Don't let Satan deceive you that there is something that will happen, or your fasting or anything will pay for you. You will open your eyes on that day and discover that there is no hope. And it is because you chose not to believe what God has already done for you. So today, choose to believe the good news. Turn from your unbelief and believe in Jesus. He has no burden of sin. He was qualified. And he chose to give his life for you. He was not forced. He said, nobody takes my life from me. I lay it down of my own accord. That is Jesus himself saying. He said, this command I have received from my Father. The Father and Jesus agreed that this is the only solution for you and for me. And it is already settled. The justice of God, the perfect justice of God and the perfect mercy of God has already been met in Jesus, so that you will not have any reason to end up in hell except that you refuse to believe.